Hello, viewers. We apologize for the small technical problem that we had. Welcome to This Week in Property. I'm Jayashree Kurup. I'm editor, Magicbricks, and I have with me Prabhakar Sinha. He's real estate editor, timesofIndia.com. Times of India. Prabhakar, today we're talking about getting a fully fitted, fully loaded house rather than a bare shell house. Can we first explain to our consumers what is a fully loaded house and what is a bare shell house?
Now, first of all, let me tell you, this is a great time to buy a house. Now, when the developer is giving you a house, and if he's giving just the cemented things, nothing extra in that, just wash machine and walls and some wash machine and the minimum sanitary things were inside, that is called bare shell. But suppose he also gives you the entire kitchenette made up, or wardrobe is also done with, or the wardrobe is totally prepared, plus some furnitures also. Now, plus AC also. Sometimes they give you a refrigerator and washing machine,
and microwave and things like that. So that you can walk in and use the house.
You can use the house, yeah. So that is called fully fitted house. And nowadays, both the kind of houses are available. Some of the, particularly the premium products, are always fully fitted, and particularly the big brands in the real estate sectors, they also fit everything with the branded products only, and as per your specification, they will do up the entire thing and they will give you. Right. And for that, they will charge you extra cost. Right. But that extra cost sometimes is very convenient, gives you hugely convenience, because what happens that if you are, say, double income family, you don't have time to buy all those things, get it fitted, and that takes sometimes 6 months to 1 year time also. Now, if you want to avoid that, then you can ask your developer, or you would like to buy a house which is fully fitted, which is usually convenient. You just can go plug and play kind of a thing. So that is also available in the market.
Right. Now, this is a win-win for both. You buy a house, you negotiate, the values are more or less the rock bottom. So what you can negotiate with a developer today is the extras, right? And these are the extras, the conveniences that you're asking for. Now, how does this benefit the consumer and how does this benefit the developer?
No, two things here. Now, developer is in the business of constructing a house. So for them, fitting all these things in the house is not a huge task, because they have the system clearly made up, and so they do it in a very fast manner. And that is their business. Now, for that, if they can make some money, that is also their profession. Now, for the buyers, now two things is here. First of all, the cost. Now, if that entire thing, suppose a developer is buying for, say, 500 apartments, they are buying, say, 1,000 ACs, or those many kind of a freeze, or the washing machines, or the kitchenettes, or wardrobe. So then they can negotiate with the suppliers very aggressively, and so at the price point also they can make up that entire thing at a usually consistent rate.
So they have the economies of scale.
Economy of scale, and which they can give you the benefit of that also. And particularly in this market, when you can negotiate the price, so certainly they will bring down the price, and they will give you that entire thing at much lesser cost than the cost at which you would have put that entire thing in your house.
Sure.
Another thing which has come in the light, that now because of the GST, now if suppose you have bought a house and now you are putting in AC or fridge or refrigerators, and you are making your entire kitchen, modular kitchen, then you'll have to pay GST on these items, every gadgets, and you will not get credit of that. But suppose if all these things is bundled in the house price, and then the developer will buy all these items when they will be buying it, and the developer will pay GST on that. So that GST, he will adjust against the GST that you are going to pay, and so that credit will be passed on to you. Now, this passing of GST can be negotiated when you are buying, and you can say that all these items that you will be putting in should be reduced by at least 12% to 18% of the price, the cost of the GST that the developer will be paying. That much price should be reduced to you when you are buying that.
So how does a consumer know how much GST the
Now,
developer is
suppose
paying?
a bare shell cost is say 1 crore of rupees, and now all these gadgets that he is putting in, say 10 lakh of rupees. Now on that 10 lakh of rupees, say he is paying the GST of say 1.5 lakh of rupees. Now that means when he is giving you the cost of all this item, you tell him that boss 10 lakh rupees, he will tell you that 10 lakh rupees is the price, GST is this much, so 8.5 lakh, and so the total cost is 1 crore 8 lakh 50,000 of rupees. You can see to it and you can negotiate with him on this manner, and then at 1 crore 8.5 lakhs, and on that you pay the GST of 12%, because 12% GST when you will pay, on that he is going to adjust that amount only. So instead of paying GST, you will get that GST paid back to you, and that is the great part of
Consumer, let me focus on this once more. When you buy a house, you're paying for the house, and when you every installment that you pay a GST component, which is you pay directly as a tax, and then you show it to the developer that I'm paying. But when the last GST has to be paid, and if the developer has given you a lot of gadgets, those gadgets, let's assume that the value of those gadgets, those fixtures, are about 10 lakh. Those on that 10 lakh, there is a 1.5%, 5 lakh GST that you will be paying. That the developer, when he pays that GST, it's already paid for, and he can give you the input credit of that, and then you pay on the total price of the house plus the instead of 10 lakh, you'll be paying it on 10 lakh minus 1.5 lakh, which is the GST that has been paid, and you get the subvention for that, so that you are getting a benefit of that. And this is something that GST has brought in, and this is good for you. So if you're looking for a fully loaded house, please understand the mechanics of how it works, so that you get the best benefit out of this.
Exactly.
Right?
And the developer is passing on, because today the kind of competition there in the market and the way the prices are getting negotiated by the buyers, so the developers themselves to sell the house, and basically the entire competition is at the price point today. The market is so tight. So developers, they pass on this benefit to the buyers, and that is why many of the developers were telling me that they themselves give them these all things, and they are offering all these things at such a competitive price that buyer themselves suggest, sir, that we want all these gadgets and fittings in my house.
Absolutely.
And they are saying that the demand for such houses are now on high, and because of some other reasons also that we will discuss later on when we will continue on this.
In fact, consumers, there's one thing that you must be very careful about. We've got Mohit Sharma of Noida, who says, can I choose not to buy a fully furnished house in a project where all units are fully furnished? This is something that some of the developers have raised. When especially in premium homes, when you buy a house, you want your house to be unique. If every house gets the same fixtures, then there are some who say that I would rather get my own fixtures. Now here, some developers have been smart about it, and they have created a bank of products from which you can choose that I want this, this, and this, and they will add that to your cost, and they will reduce the price of what you don't need. Now this is something that consumers can do. But suppose the developer had offered him a fully loaded house, and he says, I don't want the fixtures. Will the developer cut the price for him?
Yeah, certainly they will cut the price. But suppose now if he is providing him the central AC, then certainly he can't say that, no, your house will be without AC. So central AC, that means that entire project is in the same AC. So those kind of a project, if suppose he is buying into, then certainly he will not get that, no, I want to put my own AC or a split AC or the window AC, then certainly he can't do. But suppose if you just say that, no, I don't want your kitchenette, I don't want your wardrobe, I don't want your bed or the furniture, certainly developers are open to give that kind of a house also. So that's not a problem, provided the external facade should not be changed. That is the only thing.
The external facade of the asset has to be the same. because that is what the look that has been planned by the designers. Internally, what you take, you can always tell your developer, I don't want it. So yes, Mohit, you can do that. But remember that when you buy those products from the market, you will be paying an additional GST on it. When it comes from the developer, what Prabhakar was trying to explain, the input credit on those products will come to you from the developer.
Yeah, I want to explain it again. Now, suppose he is buying a house, say, for the 6,000 rupees a square feet. Now, at 6,000 rupees a square feet, he will be paying the GST on that at 720 rupees a square feet. Okay. Now, the cost of the construction of the house, say, is around 2,000 rupees a square feet. So, on 2,000 rupees a square feet, the GST that developer would have paid is around 360 rupees a square feet. So, he will get a credit of 360 rupees a square feet. That means the buyer is paying the net of GST 720 minus this 360. So, 360 rupees a square feet. Now, this 360 rupees a square feet that the buyer is paying can be adjusted against if he wants that all this fixture should be fitted into the house and the price should be, included all that items. In that case, whatever GST is paid on the item or on the fixtures which is being used in the house, that will be deducted or that can be adjusted against the GST that he is paying. So that he will get the credit of that. Right. So by that amount, net of the GST paid by the buyers will be reduced. Right. So that's what I mean to say, that here this benefit can be passed on and can be availed by the buyers. Provided, but suppose if one is buying a house of say 4,000 rupees a square feet only, or say 3,600 or 500 rupees a square feet. In that kind of a situation, not much GST is left to adjust it, because the cost of construction itself, say 2,000 rupees a square feet, and the GST at 18% is around 360 rupees a square feet. Now, even if say the price is 4,000 rupees a square feet, so the buyer will be paying around 480 rupees per square feet. So the net of 120 rupees a square feet is still he can be benefited if he wants the fixture to be loaded in the price of the house. Right. So, but only thing is this, that the fixtures price should be loaded in the price of the house. Yeah. Then only he will get the benefit.
Absolutely. So when you're getting the loading of fixtures onto the price of the house, then you can get the benefit of GST. Otherwise, if it is just going to be independent fixtures, you will not be able to claim that.
Yeah, then you won't.
There's Nitin Mishra who says that he has a 3 BHK flat which is fully furnished, but I want to decorate my balcony and convert it into a study area. Can I do that? That is something that is up to you. If it is balconies are supposed to be open areas, that's how it has been sanctioned. If you have to cover a balcony, legally you have to get a sanction for it before you can.
And the RWA's permission, society's permission, how strong is the balcony, can it support that fixture to close it or not? Yeah. If all these things has to be seen, and only after that he should go for it. Now suppose the balcony is big enough and he is putting a material which is heavy, which balcony cannot take the load of, then certainly the balcony might cave in. Yeah. So in that kind of a situation, it could be dangerous also. So he must ask the architect who has either built the house, or the architect who can assess that entire thing, that whether it is possible or not.
Yeah. And it's always safer to go to the authority and apply for a sanction.
Additional construction. Yeah.
You have to pay take a small hike in your property taxes, annual property taxes, but that's such a marginal amount that I think it is much better and safer for you to take permission.
Exactly, it's safer. Yeah. So he must do that.
And safety is a big concern. In Mumbai, we've seen how people on the middle floors, when they break structural walls or they add weight to the building, how we've seen buildings
collapsing. Yeah.
There is Mohit Sharma of Noida who says, no, I'm sorry, I think we've done that. There's Nikhil of Noida who says, are there extra taxes for buying a fully fitted house? Will I have to pay taxes on the total cost as per the extra amenities in a fully furnished house?
That's what I said. Told him.
I think it's still
beneficial. It's beneficial because you will get credit of that.
Yes. And Mohit, what really happens is when you buy a house, you have to pay a GST. So does the developer. On the products that he's buying, he has to pay a GST. Now, if you buy it from the developer and he loads it onto your house, he has already paid the GST on these products. And because he's paid the GST, there's an input credit that comes to him. That input credit, you can ask him to pass on to you.
Exactly.
And therefore, when you're paying the GST minus the input credit that has been passed on to you, and that is why it becomes easier for you, and therefore you don't have to, it is not more expensive, it is cheaper as far as the GST goes. For normally these days what developers are doing is loading these things into the price of the house, so that because he can't drop the price any further. Prices have dropped significantly in the market, and the cost of construction has also gone up. So the developer does not have too much to play around with, but whatever he has, he's loading extras onto the house to make it more attractive to you, because there's intense competition in the market. There is Deepak Singh who says, what is an intelligent choice? Constructing on a plot or a fully furnished flat?
It's choice of it is his choice. It's very difficult to say. Now, first of all, let me tell you one thing, that nowadays living in a gated community is considered to be much better. It is not only safer, but it is convenient also. Now, from the apartments also, there are very good apartments of very good size, and you can avail so many amenities like the huge garden, or you can walk around, you can do the walking strips, you have tennis court and all those kind of stuff also. When you are buying your own plot and then you are constructing it, now, I mean, of course, it's your choice, and you can do as per your wish the entire construction, and you can model up your house as per your choice. But then you cannot have that kind of amenities which you can avail in a condominium. But at the condominium, at the same time, you won't have that kind of a privacy which you will have in your private house. So that is the choice you'll have to make. But at the same time, condominium will provide you a lot of security. Right. The guards, if you are not in the house, your kids are playing in the ground, still you will feel safe that, okay, your children are safe. So those are the things. So here you'll have to make a choice that what exactly you want. So both have their own benefit and both have their own drawbacks.
You know, we used to get asked this question a lot when there were lots of investors in the market, because traditionally land has given you better returns in the long term than apartments. But like Prabhakar said, today what we see is that it's the end consumers buying for self-use. And when you're buying for self-use, gated communities, structured apartments, managed facilities, safety concerns addressed, all this makes a lot of sense, and that's why apartments have become the unit of choice.
Yeah, and there are now apartments where the private lifts are there. The lift goes to your floor, and one floor there is only one flat. So even those kind of a privacy is there, but obviously it is up to an extent.
You have to pay
for that also, and up to an extent when your visitors will come. I mean, they might have to sign in the register, right, or otherwise you'll have to accompany him. So if you want that people should not know that who are your visitor, and you want to avoid signing in the signature, so then, I mean, those kind of a situation might be problematic in living in a society, while you are living in a society. In a private house, those things are,
it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
Apartments bring with them safety, community living, managed facilities, more children for your children to play around with. All these come at a price. And also remember that when you have a plot, you have to construct it yourself. It's normally a question of choice, like Prabhakar said. What are the basic fittings a developer has to compulsorily give with the flat?
The sanitary ware, completely. The faucets,
yes,
and then after the kitchen,
the tiles,
wash basin.
Also your tops, kitchen tops have to be. The countertops are mandatory. These are some of the standard fixtures that come. In many cases, developers have started giving you wooden floors in your bedrooms, so that and that's something that is in vogue these days.
Yeah. But it all now look, earlier when you buy a house from the DDA, it used to be a bare sale, nothing, not even the kitchen they used to make up. Now, slowly and slowly, the private players came, then the competition came, and then they decided to give many of such facilities. And so it is the market which decides, and your negotiation with the developer, that what all he's going to give you in the house. Now, many of the players gives you the branded faucets and the sanitary ware also of the world class, and many of them, they don't give it. So, and then like the doors, now the door panels and all those stuffs are also of various quality, and it depends on the prices that you are paying, and particularly the negotiation that you have done with the developer while buying that product, and the kind of a promises he has made. You must make, you ensure that he gives you all those stuff which he has promised. But it's all depends on the prices and the negotiation of buyer and developer.
Since you've raised the issue of branded products, I would like to let the consumers know. We were talking to a few architects the past week, and one of the things that happens is that the developer actually keeps his word. He gives you the branded products. There are even Jaguar taps and things like that. But if the workmanship of the workmen who are fitting it is not perfect, you might end up getting a premium product with lots of problems of leakage and bad fixtures and things like that. Therefore, when you are buying a fully loaded house, one of the things that we do recommend is get an architect or somebody in the know, an interiors person, to come and do a audit of all the stuff that you've got, whether it has actually been fitted correctly. If it is fitted correctly, you will find that those products work far better. In fact, somebody from Heritage Kitchens told us that getting the kitchen is only one part of it. Fitting it properly, making sure that you've actually fitted it out into the building well is a bigger challenge. And in India, where there is no training or certification of manpower, you might end up getting a product that is very, very expensive but badly fitted and may spoil your experience. So property audit is a very
important thing. But here again, like the branded developer, for that matter, say Godrej, now, or for that matter, even the Shobha nowadays, and so many other developers also, they are themselves now building these stuffs, like the furnitures, bed, kitchenette, wardrobe. Now, these guys themselves made it, and they say that we plan it, and when the building is constructed, everything is in the plan, that what kind of kitchenette has to be made, and so they ordered their own department, and then it is made
to
order, which is customized to that particular flat, and then they fit it. So, if you go with a branded good developer, they normally negotiate with the supplier that, boss, you construct this entire thing, which should fit into their this apartments or house, perfectly. So, if you are individually going to negotiate with the supplier, they might not do that.
You might get only off-the-shelf sizes.
Size, yeah. But when suppose the developer is going for, say, 800 apartments, 1000 apartments, then certainly the suppliers also construct or build it as per the order. So here you will get much better stuff provided. But again and again, I am underlining the point that the developer must be good. Now, developer must be good in any way today, because in a high-rise building, now if the pipe inside the wall, suppose, start leaking, then the entire wall will be spoiled and your house has to be, remade. So that is the issue. So that is always there.
But then RERA, again we'll come back to what the law says. RERA says that there is a zero defect liability period of 5 years. If there is a structural flaw like seepage, engineering flaws, you can ask your developer to fix it, and if he doesn't fix it, you can go to RERA and make a formal complaint that the developer has given me a faulty structural product. And the developer is bound by the law to fix it properly. So I think it's a in the future, you're going to see a lot more of the extras coming in, fitted well, and given to you in good quality. Here, I'd like to also talk about a couple of developers who probably don't have the manufacturing power themselves, but what they have done is they have tied up with some of the suppliers, world-class suppliers from Italy, from even Pininfarina region. So what really happens is that they have tied up with the suppliers directly for their units, so that if they have the scale of production, they're able to procure it for you at a much lower cost. They fit it into your houses, and you get to move into ready fitted houses.
Exactly. Only thing, that another point what I would suggest is that now when you are buying a house, you sign the agreement that say for 5 years, or that entire kitchenette should have a guarantee of say 10 years. That if any defect is there in the 10 years, then the developer should ensure that the supplier should come and rectify that. So that kind of arrangement, if you force, I mean, the developer will enter into. Now this all is in the realm of the negotiation. If you can do that well, you can get it.
Right. We've got very interesting queries coming in, Prabhakar. We've got somebody called Binu Sharma from Delhi who says, why fully furnished houses or societies are not disabled friendly? Is there any rule under RERA which mandates this? Today, RERA does not handle building for the disabled, for the ones with special needs. And since you've raised this issue, we would be happy to raise it to the RERA authorities. I think it's a big issue for those with disabilities, and we would like to take your query straight to the authorities. There is Meenu from Hyderabad who says, my apartment is fully furnished, but the rooftop has nothing. It is used as a common area. Can we all make changes and use it as a party area for residents in our tower? The builder has agreed but wants us to bear the cost. I think the builder's right. He will give you your house furnished, but I don't think that unless it was part of the agreement that he would give you a fully functional party area, otherwise you as users will have to bear the cost.
Yeah, RWA.
The RWA has to bear the cost.
Should come forward and should build it.
Right.
I mean,
there is another query we've got from Lalit from Bangalore who says, there is a pillar in my fully furnished flat which is causing a hindrance to enter the room. Can I remove it without my builder's permission?
No.
Please do not touch any pillars. This is a standard request to all consumers. Pillars are what holds the structure together. If there is a pillar, it was probably a design flaw, and you cannot knock down a pillar to make the space look better, because we've seen in Mumbai at least 3 buildings fell because one consumer somewhere in the middle of the building decided that the pillar did not quite look
and
good.
He's putting other life also in the
the entire building came down, and you will be putting the life of all the people in the building in danger. See, in India, we don't need an expert to advise you. You call the mason, who's normally your advisor, to come and remodel your house. You need professional help when you remodel a house, especially if you're touching the structure. And pillars, beams, load-bearing structures cannot be removed, because the whole building's concept is that these are the structures that hold up the building. You can remove the any internal brick walls; those don't impact, but you will not be able to assess which are the load-bearing structures which are not. Please use an architect and a structural engineer to remodel your house. Otherwise, you will put not only your life, but
it's a criminal act. It will be a criminal act.
It will be a criminal act.
Suicidal.
You will have to pay for it very
heavily.
There is Mona Carla who says she bought a fully furnished flat, and now the kitchen has sewage issues. I raised this with the builder, but he refused to repair the kitchen, saying, I will have to bear the cost. Should you still buy a fully furnished house? I think this is the issue that we were raising, that, the developer has to be able to give you something that does not have problems, does not leave you with more problems. Mona, if your house is RERA registered, you can go to the RERA authority and it will be fixed. If the house is not registered under RERA and it was before the RERA before RERA came into being, then you would probably have to go to the consumer court. But I'm sure that the consumer court will give you, award you your dues, because when a new house should not have sewage problems. And if it is something that you did, you may be penalized. If it is something that the builder did, then he will have to rectify it. There's Nitin Mishra who says, I have a 3 BHK flat which is fully furnished, but I want to decorate my balcony. And, I think we've taken that. We've got some queries coming in. There is Neeti Verma who says she bought a fully furnished flat, but there were things that were not of good quality. Now, Prabhakar, let's talk about the quality of the fixtures. How can a consumer assess it before taking the houses from the developer?
Now, first of all, he ensured that while negotiating the apartment and these fixtures, ensured that they will supply only the branded product. And in the negotiation, in the contract, mention this point that all the products should be branded one with warranty for certain period. Now, only the builders gives that, then only you buy it. Because if you will not go for it, and if suppose then the builder what will do, that they will procure those stuff because he is going to procure it in large number. So from substandard suppliers at a very, very cheap price, and they will supply it to you and you will be in soup. So all these things you must do before buying it.
Right.
Now, after buying, if there is nothing mentioned in the contract and you are facing this kind of a problem, then as you suggested, there is no other choice but to go to the
consumer courts. Important point that Prabhakar raised is, when you take possession of your house, please make sure that you've got the warranty certificates of the products that he has fitted for you.
Yeah.
You need to hold it with yourself and not give it to the builder to hold, because after all, after you've taken possession of your house, you're the one who's going to be maintaining it into the future. We've got Kapil Rao of Hyderabad who says, what's the difference between fully furnished and a ready-to-move-in house? A ready-to-move-in house is structurally complete.
Yeah.
A fully furnished house is furnished in such a way that all the wardrobes, the kitchen,
ready to live.
It's ready to live. One is ready to move, ready to fit out. The other one is ready to live.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Lata Verma says, my builder has offered to give central air conditioning in all rooms, but the cost is high. Shall I accept it or go for my own ACs? Please suggest.
I mean, she must sign a contract with the developer of the maintenance of the central AC things. Now, if the contractor is appointing some good facility manager, or the developer is a branded good developer which can be dependent on, then certainly she should go for the central AC because it is cheaper.
Central AC is cheaper? But I think
cost-wise, running cost, it comes to be cheaper than the general, I mean, the window split AC or that, because there the cost is very high. And it is not that effective also. But it all depends that what kind of developer it is. Because if the developer is good and he is maintaining the central AC, then it is good. Or otherwise, if the developer is not good, is not standard one, then it is, it will make your life very difficult.
Yeah.
Because they keep it dirty, then a smell will come inside, and a lot of problem comes in. So it's double whammy.
So, Lata, if your developer is good, if the maintenance of the AC is good, then over a period of time, you will recover that extra cost that you pay for a central AC, because, like Prabhakar said, the maintenance, the running costs are lower than the window or split AC that you go for. There's Brijesh Sharma of Gurgaon. He says, when we go to see a flat in under construction projects, we don't see the actual fully furnished flat. In this scenario, how can a buyer pay so much and later on face problems? What is the developer's responsibility? I think the sample flats
are normally fully loaded. But thing is this, the developer, while showing the sample flats, clearly mentioned that all these stuffs will not be given, or this stuff will be given, this stuff will not be given.
Right.
Like sometimes they say that, okay, wardrobe will be given, but furniture will not be given. Or sometimes they will say that even wardrobe will be not given, this space will be given only. Right. So I believe the developers mention it very categorically. And if it is not given, or when he will be signing the contract, everything will be mentioned in the contract. He should read the contract very carefully and see that, okay, what all are mentioned in the contract, and that developers are bound to give.
Right. Actually, the onus of getting a good house is on you.
Yeah.
When you buy the house, remember that it is one of the most important and most expensive purchases of your life. So whatever the developer is telling you, please do not go for verbal assurances. Like Prabhakar said, it is there in the contract. If the developer says, I'm giving you air conditioning, ask for the quality of the air conditioning, ask for the brand of the air conditioning, ask for the star rating, the energy efficiency of the air conditioning. If there are other products, ask for the warranties, the guarantees, so that you know that this product has a guaranteed life of so long. And if there are problems, then if it is in your contract, you can enforce it. And in today's world, in the RERA and GST-driven world, it is beneficial for you to do that. Like we said, GST, we've mentioned the benefits several times, we've explained it. Even the RERA authorities make sure that if the product is not working and it was given to you as part of a contract, then it is the onus is on the developer to make it functioning.
Like when they mention it, that they will give you 30-inch Sony television or 45-inch Sony television fitted in your living room and things like that. So see to it that when they are giving you the flat, that television is there, it's new, packed one, and then after warranty card is given in that, and everything is mentioned in that. Otherwise, if you are just while taking possession of the house, if you are not ensuring all those, because there is a checklist.
Right.
Now in that checklist they will mention it that, okay, this stuff is given, handed over, and its warranty card is given, handed over. So you do that, go through that checklist, ensure it that every item is given with the warranty cards, and then only you accept the position. Right. Otherwise you object to it.
Be a responsible buyer. What we're trying to say is that the quality of the house that you get is on, the onus is on you. Choose the right developer. Choose the brands that the developer is giving you. Make sure that you're getting the right brands. Make sure that they're energy efficient, that they work well, and also make sure that you get all the warranty and guarantee certificates, so that in the future you don't have a problem. If there are engineering or structural defects, you know that this is something that RERA will fix for you.
Yeah.
RERA will take care. If you've bought before the RERA era, even then we find that developers have become more attuned to the requests of the consumers. And if you request the developer to fix it, there are many developers who are doing that. If not, go to the consumer courts. That's where you will get your, and 100% today, all courts and all authorities are batting for the consumer. You as a consumer can opt for convenience. You can opt for the best that you can get within that your money will buy, and we believe that this is a good time to go for a fully fitted out house. Thank you for watching us. Do come back to us next week. We will just after the budget, we will be talking about what the budget has brought for you in the real estate sector. Keep watching This Week in Property. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.